Please welcome to the stage, Mike Zakarian.
Good morning. What's up, party people? Happy Tuesday. We're back at it. We're grinding. I thought it was Wednesday for most of the morning. Just, was like, oh, this is good. We have a pretty light day today. Feeling pretty good for having trivia last night. And I didn't have it. Didn't have trivia last night because it was Monday. And today is Tuesday, and now I am devastated. All right, who do we get in the chat this morning? I see Sneeps up here early. National Static Electricity Day. Cool, rub some stuff together. Maddie says, good morning and hail the victors. We got Milo saying, let's start a petition to have Indiana and Memphis merge into one team this season. I'm for that. I'm okay with that. We got happy happy birthday to Muggsy Bogues and Zeke Najee. There we go. Short king, tall king. We get one of each. I know, but seriously, I didn't even think of that, Kevin, until you just said that. Pour one out for your best ball lineup. So no Hallie, no Ja. We'll talk about that. We got Bowdivine up in here. We got Regulator. Let's go. Reese is saying, looking at Jaylen Brown's stat line, then looking at the score he got in my champion line, it makes you want to headbutt a moving vehicle. Yeah, JB's not really doing the peripherals this year. He's scoring buckets and turning it over, and that's about it. We got Chewy up in here. Let's go. Snoopaloop here for the Bucks talk. I'm sorry. All right. We got what do we got today? This might be the only thing. The NBA bit. We might have another video dropping on Team Hold Sports. And hey, just real quick, if you haven't gone over to Team Hold Sports, I know most of you have at this point. Okay, I know you guys are all the real ones, but go ahead and just do me a favor. We want to boost that watch time. We want to start monetizing that bad boy. So do me a favor. Go over to Team Hold Sports, and you see this we dropped a video yesterday, 18 hours ago, where we get the biggest NBA All-Star snubs of all time. And we just dropped that yesterday. It's doing pretty well. We got 7,300 subs over here. Just put that on in loop, right? You get a couple meetings today. Just put it on loop. Just let that thing run, baby. We got to get this up over to monetization so that we can bring in those big-time cash dollars, okay? So appreciate everybody for the support over there and who's been checking stuff out already. I also love, it's just really funny seeing some of these videos. Look, 1,800 views in 18 hours, and then you get 82 views from a month ago. And then it's 245 views from 2 weeks ago. It's just all over the place. I love it. We got to figure out what the people want, Got to figure out what they want. But anyways, go check that out if you haven't done it yet. I had fun putting that one together yesterday. To NBA Bits back tomorrow. We'll have Shot Tank tomorrow as well. And then on Thursday, we might have 89 Cavs on Wednesday or Thursday. I can't remember which day. Justin went to the national championship game yesterday. Go. Congrats to all you Big Blue fans. And I think that's it. That's all the stuff that we need to get into for business. Win Club Shay Shay numbers. I know, dude. I know, man. I know. We need I need to get Cat Williams on here. My friend James III, who you might have seen him and stuff. He has a great Cat Williams impression. I shared it on Instagram if you guys follow me over there. Just funny, very funny stuff. Christmas themed stuff has a short shelf life. You'd think so, Jump Shoot, except Christmas happens every year, so it'll be back. All right, let's get into some of the stuff. Let's get another coffee sip in. So brutal things last night. So let's start with Ja Morant. Uh, so Ja goes down. Ja goes down, and it was funny, right? He went through pregame warmups. What was it? Was that on Sunday? I think it was on Sunday because I had a lot of John Morant and underdog. I was like, oh, he's questionable, but he's going to play. He's going to play this game. And I was like, and it was against the Lakers, I think, right? So it's like, I'm like, he's going to get up for the LA team. And they say he's going through a pregame shoot around to test out the shoulder, see what happens. They end up ruling him out. And then it turns out he's got a torn labrum and he is done for the season. That was announced last night. And that sucks. That sucks. I mean, listen, I know Ja's had his stuff. You know, he probably was suspended for too long, even though I feel like you can say what he did was really stupid and also be like, was 25 games really? But he came back, immediately comes back and gets a game winner, right? Somehow, as Tom Ziller put in his newsletter today, still in the 9 games that he played, the Grizzlies go 6-3. He has a game winner and a dunk around Wemby, we'll say. But I managed to get Wemby in a highlight in those quick 9 games and then to shut it down. And I mean, like just for like and we'll talk about Haliburton too. I mean, he's just fun, right? Like Ja goes out there and he does fun stuff. It was like a compelling story too that the Grizzlies started off so bad. What were they, 7-20 to start the season or something like, or 6-20? And now it's like, hey, can they sneak into the playing game? Like, can they play that well down the stretch? And looking at the teams in front of them, will they be able to catch? It was just like a fun little storyline that we're going to get. And now it's done. I do think like one, this isn't like one of those like career scary type injuries, right? You just repair the labrum, he'll be back. He'll be back next year and he'll be ready to go. So if you do want to do glass half full, if you're a Memphis fan and you're feeling dark and down today, I do think this is positive news. I actually said this before the season started. I was like, listen, if the Grizzlies get off to a slow start, just tank, just shut it down. Do what the Golden State Warriors did a few years ago, but just do it better. Don't draft Wiseman number 2, right? Because they still have a super young team. That like what is Ja? 24? I think Desmond Bain, Jaren Jackson Jr. is 24. I think Desmond Bain's 25. Like their entire like core is like 26 and under, right? And so you just shut it down this year. You don't have to rush Brandon Clark back. You just go get a top tier, get like a top 5, top 7 pick in the draft. And then you just come back full strength. You know, you kind of like wash your hands of the bad vibes that were this season. Do the Grizzlies have their pick this year? Yes, they do. They do have their pick this year. And so, listen, they're probably not going to catch Detroit and Washington and San Antonio, right? Like those are going to be the 3 worst teams in the league. Probably, did I say Washington, Detroit, Washington, San Antonio? Yeah, Charlotte, probably Portland. I don't know. Portland's a little friskier than those other teams that we mentioned, but that's it, right? Like that's 5, 6, and then I don't know. Maybe it goes in their direction there. You know, you flip the coin and it falls in your direction, and all of a sudden the Grizzlies have a top 3 to 5 pick. Now, this draft isn't as sexy as obviously the one that we had last year. However, they still have like, you know, they don't need, I mean, yes, of course you'd want a superstar, but if they just get like a really good role player to come in and like can impact the game right away, that's great because you still have Ja, Bain, and Jaren Jackson Jr. to build around. You've seen Brandon Clark will be back and healthy. Brandon Clark's still relatively young too. Santi Aldama, you've seen some stuff from this guy. Vince Williams has been playing really good. So I don't know. I feel like, yes, this obviously sucks if you're a Memphis fan that you had to endure the first 25 games with hope of the Ja return. Ja does return, and then it's over just like that. You like burn the candle. So I don't know, but I actually think this is probably the best case scenario because like what happens? You grind out the rest of the season and you get to the 10 seed, or you just miss in your 11 seed and you're just at the back end of the lottery. Just like reset, man. Just take the game out, blow in it, put it back in at the beginning of next season. I think this is ultimately a good thing. Somebody say where was is this the end of the Taylor Jenkins era? No. You can't blame Taylor Jenkins for John Morant going pew 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 and then getting hurt. Like you can't do that. So I think this is fine. I think Taylor Jenkins is a good coach. He'll be okay. And I think ultimately I think this will be a good thing. What do they do is smart. I don't think they're trading anybody. I think they'll keep Marcus Smart there. I don't think they're going to trade anybody. I guess his contract is tradable. Maybe if teams reach out with a good offer here down the stretch. I don't know like what team would make the most sense for him. The Lakers. But no, I actually I don't think they make any moves, or I don't think they need to make any moves. I don't think they're going to punt or anything like that because again, they're going to come back next year ready to go. And they probably want Marcus Smart there, you know? So I don't think they do that. I don't think they do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Steven Adams, baby. That's right. They get Steven Adams coming back next year. You're absolutely right. There was something else too I wanted to get to, and I saw a good jump shoot. This is a good transition. Why would Adam Silver talk Draymond out of retirement? So that to me, I want to preface this by saying, which I guess immediately seems disingenuous, but I want to preface this by saying, like, I hope Draymond's good. You know, like I hope the therapy that he's been going to, you know, this here, I'm pro therapy. Everybody should be going to therapy. You know, you don't have to wait for a bad thing to happen to go to therapy. Just go to therapy, especially if it's covered in your health insurance. Fuck health insurance. You know what I'm saying? So you got to absolutely utilize everything you can for overpaying for in case shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So if it's covered in, just go do it. It's a reason to go talk to a stranger. You know what I mean? No judge, pro therapy. You all know that. So I hope Draymond got the help that he needed. I hope he feels renewed, refreshed, accountable for his actions, and I hope it brings a real change in him. That was the biggest crock of shit I've ever seen in my life. What is Woj doing? We're now using, like, they got the podcast episode, clips of the podcast episode leaked to Woj, so that Woj, this all felt like the biggest self-promotional bullshit I've ever seen in my life. I didn't think that you could one up the infomercial he did after whopping Jordan Poole at the beginning of last season, and then they pushed this like 3-minute thing at the beginning. I couldn't believe it. And so, like, Woj, this is what our reporting has come to. Why is nobody using my podcast to break some news? What are we doing? What are we doing? And then for that to be like, yeah, man, dude, I was thinking about calling it quits. I know I did just sign an extension for hundreds of millions of dollars, but it was all just getting to be too much. It was getting to be too much of me beating the shit out of the people on the court. And I didn't think I could handle that anymore. But now I do. I think I can get back on the court and I can beat the shit out of people. I couldn't believe that is, like, I'm disappointed in Woj. It just felt like it felt like it was just a soft relaunch of hashtag new media. It was such garbage, man. I just can't imagine that you're dropping this back into Golden State. Like, Golden State is already a shit show. And maybe this is like when you multiply negatives, you get a positive. Maybe that's what they're like. Hey, listen, dude, Kuminga's upset. Nobody likes Kerr right now. Moses Moody barely plays. Chris Paul got hurt. The Warriors are bad. Let's bring in the Draymond chaos. And then maybe that actually like rights the ship with everything. But I think later this week, what we're going to do is we're going to do a playback where we just watch that podcast together. We're just going to watch it and make fun of it. Because that really, it honestly, like, okay, first of all, I'm not comparing what he did to what Jonathan Majors did. But it felt similarly, right? It felt like this is like the apology tour where, like, instead of actually taking accountability and responsibility for the decisions and actions you made and the consequences that come along with it, you do this interview where you're like, actually, yeah, it's less about what I did and it's more about how I feel. And I felt so bad that you are going to probably forget about what I actually did. It's like, get the fuck out of here. What are we doing? You're just beating people up, man. Like, come on. I really don't like it. I really don't like it. And again, I know I preface it with being like, I hope he's okay. And I really do mean that. Like, I hope he is good. Like, I hope, and if this is like if there was some shit going on, I hope he was able to work through it. But this to me felt like the faux, like, yeah, man, I've been working. You know what? If you're I don't need to hear that you're working on yourself. That's the whole idea about working on yourself. You don't have to tell everybody else about it. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But that's exactly what it felt like, right? Like Jonathan Majors, who, you know, I know we're allowed to talk about Disney on this channel, am I right? But like, he goes through, like, why is even Good Morning America just doing this interview? I don't care. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. Because it just feels gross. It feels so calculated. It feels manipulative. And this probably, you want to get dark, this speaks way more to like society than anything else. This isn't about Draymond. This isn't about the NBA. This is just like the content we consume and like the stories we want to listen to. And that's what we end up doing. And so it sucks. But and I'm sure this is going to, you know what, actually, I will appreciate most of like the NBA media I follow. It doesn't seem like a lot of people bought it. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like most of the people were just like, what is this garbage? But it seems like it doesn't matter because I'm sure the podcast got a ton of views. They announced that he like re-upped his deal or whatever. And I'm not saying he should have lost his media deals or anything like that. I just don't think this should be like this. I'm coming home. This is as embarrassing as like the Ja Morant redemption sweatshirts, right? If we're gonna make fun of that, like, dude, I don't need this. Nobody needs. Just fucking be a good person. Stop beating people up, and I think we can move forward with this. But oh man, I was gonna retire. I was so deep in it. I was gonna retire. I couldn't play anymore. I know they were gonna give me hundreds of millions of dollars. Dude, get out of here, man. Get out of here. Oh man, yeah. Draymond should interview Miles Bridges next. I know. And so is Draymond. Also, won't be in Loki season 3. You guys are a little behind the scenes when the Jonathan Major stuff did happen. I did text Greg and Justin, and I said, "I'm ready. You need a new Loki, baby. I am ready. Pay for a trainer for me, and I'll get in Jonathan Major's shape, baby. I'm ready. Kang, come on, I'm ready." They didn't text me back, but there's still a chance. Okay, let me catch back up. What's the point of working on yourself if you can't spin it into some podcast sponsorship dollars? Man, I just hate it so much. Yeah, and then Green. Yeah, that's what I meant by the soft launch of that stuff. It's just, oh man, is it a coincidence that Nike dropped Tiger Woods from their sponsorship yesterday? Yeah, I am the new Tiger Woods. Yeah, that seemed to make sense, right? Nike was probably like, we should probably stop paying this guy millions of dollars, right? I think everybody wins in that one. I wonder what he's going to do next. Start a Tiger brand or something like that. Man. All right. I apologized if you look more like there we go. I'll take it, dude. I'll fucking take it. I think that's enough on the Draymond stuff. And then, so last but not least, and I guess this can like pivot into actually, one more thing about the Warriors. I don't know if you guys listened to the Low Post. I feel like we nailed it yesterday with our Warriors dialogue before the Low Post came out, and then the Low Post came out. I was like, dude, come on, man. I feel like we crushed that Warriors conversation yesterday. Big Dog brand. All right. I honestly, if he comes out with a Big Dog brand, man, there we go. I'm in. All right, so Tyrese Haliburton went down last night too, and that sucks. We got to stop losing fun people. It's a pretty big bummer. Hallie's just been on one this year. I don't know if we've got the full report. I thought I couldn't find the tweet this morning. I thought last night as I was scrolling in bed that I got that I saw something that it wasn't going to be like season ending. That the initial test looked okay, and then he's probably going to miss some time, but it's not as bad as it looked. But I actually wasn't able to watch the game last night. I was meeting up with a friend, but my phone was like blowing up when it happened, and that just sucks. And I looked at the highlight too. It just looked. Your legs aren't supposed to do that, man. Your legs are not supposed to do that. So I don't know. That's a bummer, man. Hopefully it's not. The Indiana Pacers have been a fun story. They're this team that they could either be at the trade deadline, could buy some pieces and try to make a push at it, or they could, fall back maybe and be like, this isn't our year. Let's get another good pick. But this kind of sucks. I will say, I feel like they have enough pieces to still hang. Like Nembhard is solid. We've seen like Neesmith do some stuff. But yeah, I mean, the East sucks so much that they can still like compete, I think, for a play-in. But if you're the teams behind them, right, like the Knicks and the Cavs, who are everybody's kind of like in that range, you're going to see the Pacers drop down. That being said, hey, they got the big dub last night. They big dub. I think it is. I said this yesterday during the show. It is tough to beat them. To like beat the same team on the road in like back-to-back games, and which was the case for last night's game, right? Because the Celtics and Pacers played on Saturday. Tatum sat that game out. That felt more like a rest game for Tatum. And then Porzingis went 19-7. Porzingis went 19-7. Holiday 21-6-6. We talked about it at the top of the show, right, where they were like, "Hey, I checked my so rare lineups. I saw JB had 40 points. He must have crushed." 40-5 with a few turnovers. That's gonna knock you down a little bit. Peyton Pritchard off the bench had 14-7. He was solid. And then the Pacers just kind of everybody chipped in there. Mathurin led the way with 26. Yeah, I know there was a Tim Tonahue have an active crew. Yeah, the Pacers definitely got a favorable whistle. I wonder if the refs just felt bad. They're like, dude, listen, we're in Indiana. They just lost the pride and joy Tyrese Haliburton. Let's just give it to them. Let's give them the dub. Let's give them the dub. And you know what? Listen, if you're gonna do it now. You know, it's in January. Don't pull that shit in April. Give it to them now. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. Kevin says weeknight meetups with friends in your late 30s, elder millennial achievement unlocked. Kevin, I can't tell you how bad I felt this morning. And again, I thought it was Wednesday, and I was like, oh, maybe I'll just push the NBA bit back to later in the day. I'm in pain this morning. It wasn't even that late, too. LOL, because the NBA wants the Pacers to win a random game. I think they'd rather have you guys win a random game than an April game, right? I think we can all say that. Reese says, is it me, or does it just feel like the Pacers are on an endless loop of playing the Bucks and Celtics? Seems like every time I check games, they're playing one of them. Yeah, it does. They have been playing a ton of them. But yeah, Mathurin, I think, and I saw John said this in the chat earlier, Math will need to cook. Yeah, you are going to, I think Benedict Mathurin will have to run. All right, NFT news and drop alerts here. This is close to, we're going to do a mental health check. I feel like you're deep in it right now. We get some tinfoil hats, so we're going to do a mental health check. We can't go down this road. We can't talk about like how you need to have had sex in order to have responsibility. I just think it changes you, I think it changes you. I miss that hoodie. I don't know what happened to that hoodie. That's a good one. It was comfy, and I can't find it. That just happens. I just like lose clothes sometimes. I don't really understand it, but especially because I barely go outside. Yeah, we do need a Draymond mental health check. Maybe we'll get a mental health check from today's rant. But anyways, good win for the Pacers. Not really worried about the Celtics too much. That just seemed like a scheduled loss right there. Let's go. Let's keep moving. Bulls beat the Hornets 119-112. Vooch is back in action. Vooch is back in action, having some fun. And you know what? So is Andre Drummond. This is how bad the Charlotte Hornets bigs are right now with no Mark Williams. Both of your bigs can go off. So Drummond got the start, and he played 23 minutes, and in those 23 minutes dropped 21 points and 15 boards. Incredible stuff. Kobe White had 27 and 6 there. Bucci Main off the bench played 30 minutes, 21, 10, and 4. Miles, piece of shit Bridges had 24, 8, and 5. And then Scary Terry, 39 and 8. This was just like a fantasy game, right? No, I don't think anybody was tuning in being like, ooh, baby, come on, Charlotte. And most of the fantasy pieces hit. I actually had a decent night last night on Underdog, thanks to some of the bros. And it was thanks Terry Rozier. Here, I'll share screen right here. We finished 5th place in the main last night, baby. 5th place in the main, $5 entry for 12. Honey, we had Giannis, who actually disappointed. If Giannis had a better game last night, which we'll get to, this would have been, in the words of Creed, higher. Chet Holmgren with a really nice game last night. Scary Terry right there. Kuz, Freddie Vans, and Zubac, who, again, Zubac didn't even play his last rotation, but nice night. Nice night on Underdog. But anyways, yeah, nobody cares about that game. Let's go Miami #Heat Culture 120-113 against the Houston Rockets. That was a pretty good win for Miami at home there. Again, just continuing to truck along with no Jimmy Butler. And you've just been getting like some solid performances from everybody. It seems like different guys are stepping up each and every night. NFT News and Drop Alert says, is Terry getting traded? Back to Scary Terry for a second. I hope so, man. Free Terry, dude. Let's get Terry out and about. Let's Scary Terry on a playoff team. He probably wouldn't like this, but man, just coming off the bench, you get like, the Knicks, right? The Knicks, who I would mention Clarkson would be a good fit. Miami could use somebody like Terry, although he's similar to Hero in his game. But I think like the Knicks could use some offensive firepower off the bench. I feel like that would be a fun fit. But yeah, get Terry out of there. But back to the Heat. Yeah, Jovic looked great last night. I'm playing him in I didn't play him the first game, 2 game weeks ago on So Rare where he went off. And then I didn't play him the following game week where he was real bad when they only had 1 game over the weekend. And then I didn't really play him last night except in my Underdog lineups. And he went ham. He went ham last night. And ham in the sense that he had like a lot of different stats. He had 6 points, 8 boards, 4 dimes, and 4 stocks. But Freddie Van for the Rockets, he dropped 32, 7, and 5. 22 and 11 from Shingun. Bam had 22 and 12. Hero, baby. Let's get a drop. Hero at 28. feel like we haven't heard that one in a while. And you know who we should give some flowers to or some love to? Kevin Love. Kevin Love's been playing really well for the last couple of weeks. Like I don't know if he's just finally healthy or what it is, but I mean, nothing crazy, but I think he's been like a consistent. He had 15 and 7 last night, but I feel like that he's been doing that. Actually, you know what? Let's just straight up look it up instead of guessing. Let's see what his last 5 were for our boy Kevin Love. But I've always rooted for him. I don't know. Maybe it's because LeBron would like publicly throw him under the bus, and I felt bad for him. But yeah, so his last 5 games, right? We had 15 and 7, 20 and 7, 10 and 14, 17 and 4, 12 and 6. And he's doing this in like 20 to 24 minutes a game. I just love to see that. You love to see it. So congrats to the hashtag Heat Culture. Congrats to Kevin Love. Congrats to Nikola Jovic. All right, 2 games left. Milwaukee got booed at home last night. So apparently talking to the media about the guy who washes clothes doing a better job didn't have the same effect. Now, they had no Damian Lillard, but they were at home and they were playing Utah. You would think they could handle Utah, although maybe we just have to start saying like Utah's a better team than we're giving them credit for. I just want to rattle off because like normally we're like, okay, guards against Milwaukee, they cook. And nobody went ham for the Utah guards, but I'm just going to read off all of the guards here. So Colin Sexton had 19. Chris Dunn, who started, only had 5 points, but 13 dimes. Jordan Clarkson had 21 and 6 off the bench. And then Keontae George had 19 and 6 off the bench. So instead of one guard scoring 50, they all scored like double digits. Lauri Markkanen had 21 and 14. Giannis had a triple-double with 25, 11, and 10. And then Chris Middleton, this is the thing that's blowing my mind about the Bucks right now, is like Middleton's playing pretty well. Again, no Dame, no campaign, so maybe we like chill out for a little bit. Regulators saying, will Utah be buyers? So I did not expect to talk about Utah during this segment, more about the Bucks. So Utah right now, maybe Utah's looking up and like, dude, Golden State's a shit show. Houston's frauds. Phoenix are a mess. Utah right now is just a half game behind the Lakers. They're percentage points ahead of the Warriors, but basically both a half game behind the Lakers. And just a game and a half behind the Suns. They are 18 and 20. I'm going to pull up, I know you're not seeing this, but their upcoming schedule here and see what Utah's doing in the next few games, right? Oh, they got national televised game on Wednesday. They are home against Denver, home against Toronto, home against the Lakers, home against the Pacers, home against Golden State. Oh, wow. They went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. About to have a 6-game homestand. If they go like 4, they won't. Because again, Denver, Toronto, Lakers, Pacers, Golden State, Oklahoma City. If somehow they go 4 and 2, that would be crazy. Whatever, dude. I just want Lauri Markkanen to stay in Utah. That's what I'm rooting for. So I hope it does happen for his sake. But let's talk about Milwaukee here for a second, man. And again, the Milwaukee's fine. Milwaukee is fine. They are 25 and 12, 5 and 5 in their last 10. They're still in this 2 seed in the East and 3.5 games back. But they look bad. The vibes feel bad. And I don't know, maybe this is just like, this is the point of view I had. And so now I'm just like leaning into the information that's making me look right. So I'm fully aware that I'm probably super biased, but I don't know. Something feels off. Like I don't want to go too hard into it because we've already done it, but the Giannis stuff feels weird, and he's still playing like awesome. Giannis has been incredible this season, and maybe he's just frustrated that his supporting cast isn't getting it done. And I mean, you look at, it's like Giannis and Dame, and then Brook Lopez is good at what he does, and then Chris Middleton, who when he's available has been really good. But then after that, I'm sorry, Malik Beasley is not the guy, right? He's not like, that can't be your 5th best guy. It can't. I mean, the Lakers had him on their Western Conference Finals run last season, and he just didn't play. He just didn't come into the game. Like, you need somebody else. It can't be Beasley. They can't defend that position at all. And I just don't think I don't know what moves they can make. I really don't. I don't know and I don't mean that they don't have a move to make. I just don't know what their like trade capital looks like, because I feel like they still owe the Pelicans 4,500 picks from the Drew Holiday deal. So I don't know what they're going to do. Kevin was saying, which, if any, of the Utah guards would you target in So Rare? I don't think many of them are playable right now, but unless Utah really is trying to make a run, I still think they're going to capitalize on Clarkson's value and move Clarkson at the trade deadline. And if that happens, if that happens and they remain competitive, Sexton is probably the guy that's going to do the most work out there. If that happens and they don't stay competitive, it's Keontae George. So I'd probably rank them Sexton, Keontae George, Dunn, Clarkson. And then because I just don't know what Clarkson's role. If Clarkson gets traded to a good team, I don't know if he's going to have, if he's still going to be playing like 35 minutes a game and getting all the shots that he wants. So there you go. Jay Crowder should help with defending guards. Reese, I'm going to ask you this. When is the last time Jay Crowder has defended anybody? I think we have this idea of Jay Crowder, the lockdown defender. I mean, we don't even know if he's good anymore, right? When is the last time? I feel like he plays 4 games at a time, 4 games a year. Let me pull up some Jay Crowder recent stuff. Because I do think like we've got this idea that Jay Crowder's him, baby. So he's played. Hold on, let's look. This last 5 games. That's not helpful. So he played. Come on, here we go. He played 9 games this season. He played 18 games last season. So I just don't know. I don't know, Reese. I was more just saying he isn't the cone that Beasley is. Yeah, I mean, I guess then you're starting. So you're starting Jay Crowder at the 2. Maybe. Tessa saying, speaking of so rare, was watching games on NBA TV yesterday and saw their ad posts. Have they been running that all season? Yeah, I think on not on national television, but on NBA TV and League Pass. I've been seeing that quite a bit. On League Pass is a ton. And if it was say, back to Utah for a second, is Kelly O getting traded? Yeah, Kelly Olynyk could probably get traded. I could see that happen. Again, I'm curious I think we'll learn a lot in the next 6 games. Because again, I saw somebody say that schedule isn't tough. I mean, right, but those are all the like OKC, Denver. I think Toronto is a little bit tougher right now with Toronto's got some good energy right now. Although they play the Lakers tonight with no Jakob Poeltl. Anthony Davis should go for 100. So we'll see what happens there. And I forget the other teams that I mentioned in there. But all right, we've got 1 game left. Yeah, I don't know what to make of Milwaukee. This is probably too reactionary, and they don't need to be the best team right now, right? You just need to be ready to go in the springtime. And I don't know. I mean, after losing to Utah at home, I'm sure they're not super concerned about home court advantage. But when you look at the rest of the East, I feel like they have to go through a real dumpster fire of a situation to drop from the 2 seed. I know the Sixers are only 1 game behind them, but I don't see the Sixers outpacing the Bucks the rest of the way. And let's give let's do the last game and then I'll pull that up because I want to give Miami a little bit more love here. But all right, last game of the night. I watched a little bit of this because I had a little bit of a sweat last night. But Clippers just beat the hell out of the Suns, and I think both of these things are going to be true. I think the Clippers are legit. I'm straight up nervous that the Clippers are going to be representing the Western Conference in the finals right now, and I don't want that to happen. But they win 138-111. And the other part of that statement is Phoenix is just bad. I think Phoenix might be a bad team. I don't see it working. Durant played 35 minutes. He had 30 and 7. What happened to Devin Booker? Where are you, Devin Booker? Remember last season, we're like, dude, is Devin Booker in the MVP conversation? Devin Booker, the point guard now? And he 20 and 5, which is like fine, but that's not Devin Booker. His shooting percentages are way down. Like, I don't know. Bradley Beal was out there. Bradley Beal's playing minutes, but he didn't really do anything last night. And then you look at what the Clippers are doing, and it's just when they're healthy, man, they just don't need everybody. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh, hey, it's Paul George's night. Paul George dropped 25 and 7. Kawhi, I only need like 17 from you. Harden, 19, 10 and 7. Zubac, 19 and 8. Like, they've got Norm Powell. It may be a Norm Powell game. Like, the Clippers look legit, and they just took care of business, and that's what they've been doing, man. That is what they've been doing. I'm going to pull up some of their so they started out 0-5, right, when that James Harden trade. Sorry, I got to scroll down here. This is going to take me a second to pull up because I'm an asshole and didn't think I was going to do this, and now I've changed my mind. But so they start hold on one second. They start 0-5 with that trade. And it was like, okay, they suck, man. James Harden, he ruined it again. He's a system, my ass, right? We're saying that stuff. And then I can't find it fast enough just because I can't do 2 things at once. Actually, let me try this, actually. The Clippers record since Harden trade. There we go. So the Clippers are Oh, come on. Well, just show me. Where's StatMuse? Just StatMuse. Show it to me. Anyways, whatever. Everybody stopped writing about it after they won a game. But anyways, they've been great. They've been great. And they've now moved to, they now have like in their last 10 games, right? They're 7-3. They're 10 games over 500 now. And they are 2.5 games out from the 1 seed. They're 2 games behind the Nuggets for the 3, 1.5 behind OKC, 2.5 behind the Timberwolves. Like they're creating some space between the Kings and the Mavericks and the teams behind them. And they're just like, again, we're now banking on these dudes staying healthy. And they have showed us time and time again that that's not in their bag. But if it is, I mean, they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough. Is there any news on whether Embiid will play now that we've wrapped up all the games from last night's action? He was not at shoot around yesterday, so I don't know what that means for they don't play tonight, right? They play on Wednesday. I don't know what that means for Wednesday. I'm sure we'll get some more news. I'm sure we'll get some more news today on that, but I don't know. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Carl's saying Suns can only cook teams with a bad D the minute they come up against a decent defensive team. It's done. Yeah, well, because they can't get stops right now, right? And so now they are 1 game above 500. They are 19-18. They are in the 9 seed behind the Rockets, behind the Pelicans. They're just a game ahead of the Lakers. And I think what's crazy about this, it's not that I think they're going to fall out of the playoffs. Like I'm sure they're still going to make the playoffs. They're definitely going to make the play-in. But I don't know. Like when Ishbia made all of those moves and they spent all that money, I don't think it was to not host a playoff series in the playoffs. You know, I mean, if they host a game, it's going to be a play-in game probably. I mean, you know what I mean? Be like the home team. So I don't know what's going to happen, man. I don't know what's going to happen. It's weird energy over there. Weird energy over there. All right, that does it for last night's NBA action. Let's take a look at the standings here to see if we got some movement. Right, we got in the East, we still have the Celtics, Bucks, and Sixers comfortably in the top 3. And then after that, we've got look at Miami Heat though, just chipping away. Again, what did they start off 1-4? Since that 20-11, they're 7 games back, but this does feel like it's going to be the right top 4. Orlando Magic with some good wins over the weekend. Hopefully they get Franz Wagner back. Franz is not ready for tonight. They play, I forget, who do they play tonight? They play, let me just scroll up here. We'll do this. Who do they play tonight? They play Minnesota. That'll be a good game at home for Orlando. And then the Pacers right now in the 6th seed, but again, suffering that Hallie injury. We need to know how long he's going to be out. And then you got the Cavs and the Knicks, who Cavs don't play until Thursday. They're in Paris against the Brooklyn Nets. Bulls, look at the Bulls, baby. 17-21. Just chipping away, baby. Yeah, Stan, too. I agree with this, man. Heat without Jimmy or Caleb, watch out. I do. I think I think what you're seeing from Duncan Robinson, from Jaime Jaquez, now Nikola Jovic, like, well, not only is this good for right now to, like, you know, plug the hole until Jimmy Butler and Caleb come back, but now, like, in the playoffs, you're like, okay, maybe, you know, we can count on Jovic for like 12 to 15 minutes. We can count on Jaime for playing like 20 minutes a game. I don't know. I think this is a good sign. And then you have the Raptors, who 4-6 in their last 10, but are looking frisky here since the trade deadline with IQ on there. And then Hawks, Hornets, Wizards, Pistons. And then the West, we kind of talked about already, but you got the Timberwolves, Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets, Clippers. And then it feels like there's a tier gap with then Sacramento Kings, who are 7 games over 500, but 5-5 in their last 10. They just don't look like the Kings right now. The one positive, though, is that like Fox has been playing bad, but Keegan Murray's been playing great. Keegan Murray's had a really good year, too. Then you get the Mavs right here, who now winners of 3 in a row. Who do they play tonight? They got a good one as well. Memphis, which is not as good anymore without Ja, but Luka and Kyrie back at it. And then you get the Pellies, the Rockets, the Suns, the Lakers, followed by the Jazz, and then the Warriors in that beautiful 12-hole, followed by the Grizz, the Blazers, and the San Antonio Spurs. Yeah, Spurs only 10 to 12 moves away from being in it. Yeah, I don't think it's this year. Yeah, regulator. I agree. Fox does look hurt. Something feels a little off with what does the Fox say? All right, let's take a little So Rare ad read, and then I'm gonna pop over there just for a hot minute. We'll do some underdog, and we'll get on out of here. Today's NBA bit is brought to you by So Rare. Daily fantasy sports is annoying. Constantly paying attention to injury news, who's starting, who's sitting, and just having to remember to enter your lineups each and every day. With So Rare, you just have to enter your lineup once for each game week. week. And instead of having to pay an entry fee each time you enter a contest with So Rare, once you buy your cards, the tournaments are free. Each game week, you'll have a chance to win more card rewards to bolster up your roster. And this year, So Rare is introducing cash prizes. So sign up for So Rare today using the link in the description, and they'll start you with 20 free common cards. And by using our link, once you buy 5 cards from auction, they'll give you a 6th one free. So sign up for So Rare today and see if you can take down Mike Sorarian. All right, here we go. We're going to pop over to So Rare real quick. I'm a fish. Last night when the news broke, your boy definitely picked up Nembhard and some TJ McConnell. So assuming, we got no Hallie for a little bit, so we had to do it. We bought some cards. But real quick, we'll just kind of poke around at how my lineups did because I haven't looked at it too much. I just know that I put Jovic in my underdogs. All right, so what did we do last night? Okay, Bruce Brown dropped 18. We go over to my limited contender. We had 2 guys go in there. Jayshawn Tate dropped 20, which is fine for his cap. He had a cap of 10. Bradley Beal hit his cap. That was pretty disappointing, but we do have another game against the Lakers who don't really defend anymore. My limited champion, where I just kind of put my extras in, Laurie dropped 58, Şengün dropped 46, but that won't compete because it's just leftovers. And then here you go, your underdog, freaking Nikola Jovic dropping 36 on him. That would have been nice in a different lineup. My rare contender, same thing. Beal disappointed here. Beauchamp was fine, right? Because his cap was 8, I think, and he dropped 19, so we'll take that. And then, again, rare champion, my leftovers, we actually got a Jordan Poole game. And then rare underdog, which this will actually be kind of fun because we had Tate with the 22, Jovic with the 39. We still have Moses Moody, Josh Hart, and Chris Duarte. So we'll see what's going on over there. I'm kind of surprised So Rare didn't really introduce anything here for Paris on Thursday. I thought we were going to get some Paris love here, but no way. Willis says, who wants to buy my So Rare Caleb Rare from last season? Willis, you can probably sell that if you haven't already, right? What's Houston looking like here? His rare year 1 going for $29, man. That's got to be a dub. Just go list that. List that for 20. List it for 25 right now, and that'll move. But I think after this game week, it probably becomes not good. Regulator, half of the public schools in North Carolina closed today because of the storm. The storm front coming through. Is that supposed to be storm front? Are we getting more snow? Let's do it. Yeah, dude. We haven't checked the weather in a while. We should absolutely be doing weather forecasts on this show. But I'm going to focus on New York because that's the weather that pops up for me. Oh, yeah. Well, we're getting some rain today. Come on. That means we got to hurry up and finish this show so I can take them out. No, we're not getting snow till a week from today. There you go. I don't know. Anything else you needed to get into? I guess we'll build an underdog thing. I'm going to share the Team Hold Sports one more time too. If you haven't gone and checked that out, please go do so. I want to once we can monetize this is going to be fun. I'm enjoying this too, messing around with AI a little bit, just kind of building some stuff. Ooh, second day in a row of no school in Nebraska. Whoa, that's crazy. That has to be a ton of snow, I feel like, for Nebraska. All right, let's go build a pick'em. I saw the Common Man already has some stuff in there for us. Steve says, would you rather buy a Luke Cornett on So Rare or a shirt with Beyonce wearing a disco ball? I think probably Beyonce. I think Beyonce, that's pretty good. Also, you might have seen the Team Hold stores down. If you were looking for merch, it should be back up tomorrow. Because I forgot about it. All right, let's see. So you said start with Anthony Davis. Let's start with Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, PRA. Yeah, I like that as well. He should go nuts. Does Boucher have a line? Actually, let's look at all the Raptors. Let's look at all the Raptors here. I don't know. RJ Barrett. Do you think they play RJ Barrett as a big? No, I was hoping they'd have Boucher lines. What about I actually like this 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I think the IQ's been hitting lately. I like that for PRA. I think this game, I don't know if the Lakers have it in them to blow anybody out anymore, and they don't really defend guards. So I like that one. So let's start with that. That's a little game stack, little late night. Let's find double from Kyrie now. No, Kyrie's got 25 and 9 in him. Desmond Bane. So Jaren Jackson Jr. is questionable. Do they have any other? No, they don't have any other Grizzlies. Keep an eye out for Vince Williams stuff. If we see any of that, that would be fun. New York Knicks versus Portland. man. What about our Jalen Brunson double-double in this one? Actually, I feel like he hasn't gotten 10 assists. He had that 13-assist game, but I feel like he either gets dimes or he gets buckets, but he doesn't do both a lot of the time. Randall, 28.5 points feels like it's good. Also, Simons. I think Simons had MSG. They don't have a lot of other offensive options. Let's throw Simons in there. Maybe we just leave it at a 3-man. How do we feel about that? Because I feel like even in a blowout, Simons should get his shots up. He's probably, what is he going to, unless they throw OG on him. Does OG cover Simons? Now I'm nervous. Does OG cover Simons? Do we maybe go Scoot instead? Maybe we go Scoot instead. Let's go over 12.5 points on Scoot. Let's do it. All right, maybe we're just going to stick with this here. So we're going to go AD over 45.5 points, rebounds, and assists. IQ over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Scoot over 10. We'll put 20 on this one. 20 to win 120. Let's see if it lets me do it in here. Yes, it does. All right, I'll share my picks if you guys want to follow along. Obviously, if you haven't signed up with Underdog yet, use promo code HOLD when you sign up, and that gets you a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. What happened to Jock? Jakob Pertl. Raps will be super thin up front. I'm assuming Michael Porter Jr.'s brother, Jonte, doesn't have a card. He's been looking nice. Yeah, I don't think he has a card yet either. But yeah, Jonte should get some run. I don't know what happened. He got ruled out yesterday. I saw him get ruled out yesterday. It was like happening while we were doing live before lock. It's kind of funny. We got a ton of NBA injury news for like tonight and tomorrow yesterday, which like that normally doesn't happen. It was kind of bizarre. All right, I think we might call it a little 47-minute episode. We were efficient today. I know. I want to do a Porter drop. Let's just do the Porter drop. Let's have some fun. Let's live a little. You know what I mean? Let's live a little. We're the Porters. Here we go.
We're the Porters. We share the crowd of up and down performers, throwing things in buzzer beater corners. And one of us is playing for the Warriors. We're juniors and we're the Porters.
All right, here we go. If we're ending early, this is what I need everybody to do. Everybody, right after this, you're going to go look at the biggest all-star snubs. You're going to go watch this video, and everybody's going to like and comment on it, all right? We're going to drive some engagement, baby. We're going to drive some engagement. Top Shot Testis is weird. League cracking down on last-minute injuries to placate betting partners. Maybe. I think that normally doesn't happen. I just think there was a lot of teams that were resting yesterday, and maybe they had information ahead of time. But yeah, everybody go engage with this video. We need to pump that engagement. Look at this though. How about this? 7,300 subs. We started this channel a year ago, but I didn't post any videos on it for a while. So anyways, good to see this cooking. I think I'm going to do one. I think the next video we're going to do is who would win the current OKC Big Three or 10 years ago OKC's Big Three? Who would win, that version of the Thunder or this version of the Thunder? I think we're going to do that. Yeah, Zaza Pachulia, Game 7, baby. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Tuesday. If you have children and are on a snow day, fresh off of a holiday break, God bless. And the best thing you can do is go to therapy, but then start a podcast so you can tell everybody that you went to therapy and then go from there, All right, we'll see you back here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. NBA Bit. We all out.